Welcome into our NFL Upset Picks for week number 15. I am Spencer. He is Jason. We're both from poolgenius.com. And Jason, he's not only our lead analyst over there at poolgenius.com, he is also our star actor in our new segment that we just put out, and many of you are seeing for the first time here. So I'm going to roll that right now without further explanation.
Forget the fruitcake. The real holiday tradition is correctly picking the Pinstripe Potato Pop-Tart Bowl and winning your college football bowl. And the Pool Genius Bowl Pick 'em Picks tools and customized picks are your secret weapon in 2025 to make that happen. After all, it's helped users win their pools 1.8 times more often than expected since 2014. We gather data, have up-to-the-date lines that account for all the latest news, and compare our odds to public pick popularity data to show the real edges in every game. While others are out there picking based on mascot color, win-loss record, or conference affiliation, you can turn all the opt-out news and roster chaos into a real advantage in your bowl pool. That's true whether it's a spread pool, a game winner pool, or a confidence point pool, plus many others. Bowl Pick 'em Picks is now open for 2025. So go to poolgenius.com/bowls to get your edge. Once again, that's poolgenius.com/bowls.
And I'm excited for college football bowl games, especially after seeing that inspiring performance, Jason. Very well done. But yeah, seriously, there is a huge advantage in bowl games. Bowl pick 'em, a lot of dead money out there, and our product will update you all along the way. We get national public pick data, updating the win odds as we go, all the transfer news and all those quirky things that happen with bowl games. Now you can turn that into an advantage. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I have a question for you, Jason. Now that you are a star actor in these commercials, I'm assuming the only logical step is that you're going to go hit that local Kansas City market, see if you can get some other commercial spots, and then maybe try to hit it big time. But how is your family receiving this, that you are now a commercial actor on top of being a lead analyst?
I've gained no aura in the house. Things haven't been going well. It's been a rough week, and they don't seem as impressed as hopefully the rest of our audience is. It's been a rough week, and very, very big stuff. Spotify Wrapped released, I don't know if any of you are on Spotify, but they released their kind of end of year stuff on your listening preferences. And they've informed me that I'm 70 years old.
Your listening age is 70?
Yeah.
What are you listening to?
I think there's bias. I would like to lodge a complaint. I think they pigeonhole you on certain types of music. Yeah, sure. Do I listen to some songs from the early 70s? Yes. But, I also listen to modern music. Like my number one listened album last year was Noah Kahan. I don't think 70-year-olds are listening to Noah Kahan. I would like to lodge a complaint, but it's even worse because my wife's listening age was 21. And now she's threatening to leave me for a younger listener. And so things are rough here at the house.
What, does she just listen to Taylor Swift and she wants someone else who listens to Taylor Swift? Is that what's up? Or
now the good news
Sabrina
is
Carpenter?
My daughter, who's in college, her listening age was 53. And so I think
respect,
that, and it's because I'm listening to her music. So Spotify's biased against, like, if you like a little acoustic, if you like a little banjo in your music. I mean, come on now. Anyway, I digress.
Speaking of bias, you know what else is bias? Our model and its love for the New Orleans Saints, and that came through for us last week.
Way.
The Saints pulled off the upset. Our upset picks overall went 2-1. We had a chance at the 3-0 sweep, but Burrow threw a costly interception that went the other way. That was it for the Bengals upset bid. That looked good for most of the game.
How they led most of the game. They had it in the snow.
Yeah, but I hit my Pittsburgh Steelers over the Ravens. I don't know how that hit. I don't think that probably should have hit because that was a touchdown.
Devil magic again. A Tomlin underdog. Crazy stuff happens.
And right? Isaiah Likely on the other end of a bad beat once again. that guy just does not run very good. But either way, we took it for 2-1 record. Some pretty good hits. I believe that Saints money line was plus 350, and then the Steelers money line was plus 220. So we had some nice hits last week. Let's look to keep it going here in NFL week number 15. You know the drill if you're listening to us, if you have been listening to us. Jason's going to go first with his favorite upset pick. Then I'm going to do mine. Then we're going to grab one from the model. If you have been
you
listening,
never know. We don't know who it is.
I'm
You
going to
never know.
set, I can venture a guess on what the model's going to pick, but we will get to that later. First off, I want to know, Jason, who are you going with for your upset pick this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick on the team that the model just went after last week. I'm gonna go Atlanta, who is a 4-point underdog, and this money line is currently right around 200, give or take at a lot of your books. I'm gonna take Atlanta against Tampa in the rematch of that week 1 game that Tampa won. They probably shouldn't. But Atlanta at Tampa Bay, I'm going to give you some numbers on this one, and they're related to Baker Mayfield. Baker, remember early on, people were talking MVP for Baker. He was, in a lot of ways, doing it on his own in some games. He was keeping games alive, making big scrambles, but he was getting beat up. And, we know he recently had the shoulder injury against the Rams, has tried to play through it the last couple of weeks. He had a knee issue coming out of the Detroit game. He had an oblique injury coming out of that game. He was beat up. He stopped running. So here's his numbers. I'm going to give you the Baker Mayfield's passing statistics splits. So in the first 6 weeks of the season, he completed 66% of his passes, and his yards per attempt were at 7.9. And he threw 12 touchdowns to 1 interception. Then that Detroit game, he tweaked the knee. He came out. He was limited the next week in practice. He hasn't missed a game, but he's played through it. But here's his numbers since then, and up to and including the shoulder injury and the recent loss to the Saints. Last 7 games, 57.7% completions, 1,183 yards for 5.3 yards per attempt. That's like historic, like bad rookie QB bust range right there over a full season. 5.3 yards per attempt for Baker over the last 7. 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So he went from 12-1 to an 8-5 ratio and went from an MVP candidate to looking statistically like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And I think there's a reason for it. We know the guy just is a human like Band-Aid at this point. He's holding it together. He's insisting on playing through it. But you know what? If I'm getting points and he's still playing, I know Mike Evans might return, but I'm not sure Baker Mayfield's getting healthy by continuing to play through this. And so I'll take those points and the plus 200 on the road.
Yeah, and I really feel like regression is fully catching up to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at this point in the season. You remember early on, you mentioned it, when these teams first met, the Buccaneers were running really good, and they were getting kind of lucky doing it. And now injuries have finally taken hold, and they've just really come down in a big way. And that defense, too, I feel like they have become less and less reliable as the season has gone along. So I really don't mind that upset pick here. 2 division rivals that know each other pretty well. It's kind of the formula we went with last week, too, at least with my pick with Pittsburgh, and then the model's pick also with New Orleans. So I don't mind that at all. For mine upset pick in week number 15, I am also doing a divisional game. It is a short underdog, mind you. It is the Washington Commanders plus 120 at the New York Giants, and I am fully aware of all the Washington Commanders injury concerns. I am fully aware that Jaden Daniels is out. I am fully aware that they lost 31-0 against a bad Minnesota Vikings team last week. I still don't care. I believe the wrong team is favored in this game. I understand that the New York Giants are off a bye. They are a little bit healthier, but I just think the Commanders have more. They have more to show. I don't trust the New York Giants in this spot. as a favorite. And another thing I did is I went over to our football pick'em tool, which grabs national averages, pick data averages in spread pools. Guess what percentage is taking the New York Giants -2 in this game?
I
Since
haven't
I'm
looked.
bringing it
Yeah,
up, it's
yeah,
noteworthy.
yeah. I haven't looked. You're talking about in spread pools or game
In
winners?
spread pools, yes.
I mean, we're probably showing it up at about as high as possible, 75% or
Yep.
higher.
So it's
And
72%.
so, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I like this. Do you know who the last team that was shut out before Washington last week was? This is a pop quiz. I'm
Yeah,
putting you on the spot.
was
Who was the
Minnesota.
last team? Yes,
It
it
was
was
Max
Minnesota
Grosmer.
the exact week before. Which brings me to a follow-up point, which is I had done research in the past. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but betting on teams that just got shut out has been a very profitable strategy over a long period of time because the market reacts to those. And I think getting shut out is better for your motivation than, say, tacking on 2 meaningless field goals and losing 28-6. Because then the coach just lights into you all week about how you got shut out. And so it does provide like a bit of a motivational edge. This is the type of game where I don't think home field matters that much. So I do like this. And also, the market reacted strongly to Jaden Daniels returning, but I think that's an expectation of a Jaden Daniels that has not been present this year. And he's been banged up. He's like the Baker, but he's been banged up all year, and he hasn't looked like himself as a rookie. And Mariota had kind of stabilized things in some games. Their defense is still an issue, but so is the Giants' run defense. And so I do like, you get 2 bad teams and you get a motivational edge here like this. I like taking the underdog.
Yeah, and a lot of it, I do think it is an overreaction to all those things coming true, all those bad things coming true, Jaden Daniels being out and them just getting mollywopped in Minnesota. Another team that got shut out earlier this year, it was the Falcons on the road at Carolina. They lost 30-0. Next week, they went out and won 34-27 against these Washington Commanders. So that's just another data point along.
I can't remember if I think I had them that week, and they did close as a favorite.
Yep.
Because I believe Daniels was ruled out that week, and he had not been on midweek the week before. But yeah, that was another recent example of a team that got shut out, which goes to the point. I think getting shut out is a good thing for a coach being able to light a fire under his team.
Yeah, and I fully understand that this is a short dog, and I know there are some of you who just dropped comments as I was speaking right there to take a longer underdog, but I took the Steelers last week +6
What do you
at
want?
plus 222. We're gonna pick our spots with these.
Maybe we'll debate the big underdogs. Maybe we should do that real quick. Like,
Okay.
I wouldn't take them
Yep.
this week. There's a lot of grossness out there, but we do have a lot of like double-digit dogs. Like, who do we take? But I think we got to get to the model first.
Yes, and without further ado, after hitting, was it our biggest upset pick of the year, or did we have a bigger one? I remember we had the Tennessee Titans when they won in week 5.
That was similar. It was over.
It was really close. We're gonna have to look back at the
This might
tape.
have been a little higher when we gave it out. We did get line movement. It did close lower. So if you got it midweek, you got a better number than you did on Sunday. But it might have been. I'm not sure we've given out one of the double digits.
So. Yeah. So without further ado, Jason, what is the model's favorite pick of the week?
This is a bit of a surprise. The model likes the New Orleans Saints.
Again.
The Carolina Panthers.
Again.
Laissez le bon temps rouler for the model. It's ready for some étouffée. It is fully on board with everything Cajun and Louisiana. It is nothing but New Orleans for the model lately.
Does the model know, or did the model know before we all did, that Tyler Shuck is basically Mike Vick 2.0? Or
Seriously?
what's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, that was a scouting report on him coming out of college, right? Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, what did he have? I'm pulling up the box score. I know he had two touchdown runs of
2 improbable
not a
touchdown
short
runs.
touchdown, not like a dive. Yeah, he had a 13-yarder and a 34-yarder. He finished that game 55 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns against the Bucks, who had been like a stout line. And so yeah, the Saints defense though has been playing really well, and this is one of those games again.
How
I
how
do worry
much?
about the motivational edge coming off the big win
Yes.
in Carolina and having beaten Carolina, so I do worry about that personally. But this Carolina team is not they're a road favorite, and it's not a role they've really been in too often. So I don't mind the play.
Yeah, and I believe you said this multiple times, but Carolina as a road favorite, that's a decent spot to play
Yeah,
against.
I
I
think they
mean,
did win their first. They won against was it at the
just the
Jets?
Jets, yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, in a weird, like, crappy game that was just it was not an inspiring performance, and we all know that the Jets are just pretty cringe this year. But let's so in honor of the model taking the Saints again and the model hitting on the Saints last week, let's pull up that picture that we did from last week with the model having the Saints helmet on. Let's go ahead and add some Mardi Gras beads to it. Let's add
it earned
uh
it.
yeah, a few beads. Maybe what do you want to add anything, Jason?
No, that's fine. I
Maybe if
think
it wins again this week, we'll get it one of those big
put
what
a
are those things you
hurricane.
can get on Bourbon Street that are the big
You
slushies that you drink out of the straw?
drink hurricanes,
Yep.
and yeah, it's got to earn that with going two in a row. So, yeah, the model just loves the Saints, and they're starting to live up to it somehow. So we'll see.
Yep, and those are our 3 upset picks for NFL week number 15, and I wanna remind you that our College Bowls Pick'em product is out and available. I will pin that in the link below,
Well,
so you can go
let's
ahead and
real
check that
quick.
out.
We do have 4 teams that are plus 500 or better, and it's really ugly. So we're just these are not our advice, people. This is not our advice. But if you're just having fun and you just want to roll with one of the plus 5, who you got of the plus 500s? That is the Jets with my guy Brady Cook from Mizzou. That's Indianapolis with who knows, maybe a quarterback who has been retired for 5 years. We don't know who's starting on Sunday. That's Tennessee with all their people, but it's Tennessee at San Francisco, and it is the Raiders at the Eagles. Which of those 4 you like? Which of the 4 do you think is most likely to win? If
That is
something crazy.
this is so I'm looking at the model first.
Yeah,
Let's just go with
it
that
likes the
because
Raiders.
the
Yeah,
model wants the Raiders 1, Jets 2, and then it doesn't even like the Titans. It doesn't even have the Titans listed as one of the picks.
yeah.
God, I don't know. I would say I would probably go with that.
Yeah, I mean, Philadelphia seems the team that's most
But the
imploding.
Raiders don't seem the most fit to do the team. It's weird for me to say this, but I feel like Tennessee has it in them more, but they kind of have that thing that you said with the Saints where they just got their win. Like they just might chill and call this good, and the 49ers are off the bye and need this for the playoffs.
Well,
But
I'll be crazy. I'll be crazy, and I'll say of the 4, the Colts. And I'll just say that because if we're picking really, really long shots, I want high variance. And this is like a unique situation. Like this line is like 8, 9 points off of what it would have been in the look ahead, right? And so the market has collapsed, and I understand why. It's because they're down to maybe their third string or maybe somebody who wasn't on the roster. So it is a big adjustment, but this is like almost an unknown situation. So, the Colts have been a playoff team. So is Daniel Jones worth 9 points off a guy off the street? You wouldn't have thought that coming into the year, but that's what the line's done. So I'll just go with the crazy variance and just say, if I had to, I'd take the complete unknown situation.
I think the caveat is who that guy is off the streets too. The 44-year-old grandfather.
Listen, I'm a big Phil Rivers guy. I hope it is. I like for just weird reasons. I mean, he's a character, but that would be one of the most ridiculous stories of all time, wouldn't it? And so
it definitely
if
gives
it's the
out that
Rivers, I might throw a few bucks just for the Laws on Sunday. Just to
it
have them.
will for sure be made into a movie if it does happen. It might get made into a movie even if it doesn't
Yeah.
happen, just because it gives someone the idea. But plus 616 are the Colts. What I'm seeing now on the money line, that's pretty ridiculous. So those are the NFL upset picks and more. A bonus pick from Jason there at the end. Good luck with all your bets and all your picks for NFL week number 15.